Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Mizumani G. Yes, this is what we all be been waiting for. Here is my review for Scream 6. Ha 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 ha!
Don't fuck with them hoes.
Now, Scream 6 is a 2023 American slasher film that was directed by Matthew Benatelli Open and Tyler Gillett. It was written by James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick. Now, the film stars Melissa Barella, Jenny Ortega, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, Hayden Panettiere, and Courtney Cox. Now, in the latest installment, the survivors of the latest Ghostface killing leave Woodsboro behind and try a fresh chapter in New York City. But Ghostface is back once again. Just can't escape him, can you? Now, after the success of Scream 2022 last year, it grossed over $140 million on a $20 million, $24 million budget. It was quickly announced that Radio Silence would produce a sequel. Yes, I believe they're going to do another trilogy. That's what I heard. But right now we just have this sequel right now. I don't know if they're going to actually do another film, but we'll talk about that later. Now, while the main cast, Melissa Barella, Janie Ortega, Jasmine Savoy Brown, and Mason Gooding would return for their roles, also Courtney Cox would return along with Scream 4 and Hayden Panettiere reprising her role as Kirby from Scream 4. However, Nev Campbell would not be returning for a sixth film due to failed contract negotiations from Paramount Pictures. We don't need to get anything more about that. So, with the story taking place in New York City, Radio Silence brings us the sixth film in the franchise called Scream 6. Yes. Now, after your typical but very intense Scream opening, we get to see what's been happening with the gang from the events from the previous film. We see that Sam is living with Tara in an apartment that they share with their roommate Quinn, while Tara is attending college along with the twins Chad and Minnie Meeks Martin. It's not long before the gang sees the latest Ghostface killings in the news, and it's not long before Sam and Tara start receiving calls from Ghostface, leading to another battle and mission to find out who and why this Ghostface is after the gang, and this time, no one is safe again. So, obviously, the first question I'm sure most Scream fans will have to ask themselves for the first time, we don't have Sidney Prescott in the film, so do we actually miss the main star of the franchise? That's the question everyone's going to have to themselves. Can this series survive without Sidney Prescott in the film? Well, for me, all I can say is that directors Benatelli, Open, and Gillett, along with writers Vanderbilt and Busick, have given us perhaps the best film in the franchise since the original film back in 1996. I truly enjoyed this film. I mean, first off, I'm sure everyone will love the opening sequence, and it just picks up from there, giving the audience almost everything expected in a film like this. That opening sequence, I actually thought they improved from the previous one. I think it was Scream 4. Where they did that kind of a fake out thing, but this one was very well played. I thought they did a fantastic job in the opening sequence. No, I also believe that the filmmakers take full advantage of the New York City. We have great set pieces. We have the bodega that we saw in the trailer. We have the apartment building. We have the subway, and then we have the old abandoned theater. All those are great set pieces. When Ghostface attacks the group, I thought everyone did a fantastic job in taking advantage of those set pieces. No, unlike in the previous film, which I thought that was a problem that I have with the original, with last year's Scream, is that we get some great character development in this film. We see Sam's unresolved issues being Billy Loomis's daughter and the fallout from the events that took place in the previous film. She's really struggling here. Even Tara has her own issues, as we see in the beginning of the film, like she ignoring what happened to her and her sister and pretend nothing's happening. And we get some great clashes between the sisters. And I thought both Melissa and Tara and Jenna did a great job in how the sisters are treating each other. And I thought it was great character development in this film. I also like how the film focuses only on the main characters called the Core Four. Hashtag that Core Four. And I thought they did a fantastic job of making sure the story centers on just them. And they also do a great job in bringing in how Kirby comes into the film, and of course how Gel comes to the film. But even though they're kind of the legacy characters, they don't dominate the film. The film focuses mainly on the core four. We don't have to, we see stuff that happens to Gail. We see what's happening to Kirby since she's back in the film. They give a nice explanation about how she survived her encounters with Ghostface from Scream 4, and I thought they did a fantastic job in explaining how she survived that one. But they don't dominate the story because I think that was one of the issues that I had with Scream with last year's Scream, is that we always wanted to see new characters in the film and not focus on mainly on the legacy characters like Gail, Sydney, and Dewey. But in this film, it's only about the core four, and that's it. No, I also believe that Benitelli and Gillett did a fantastic job of how the film is directed. The pacing is very good. Uh, how they film the attacks, all the set pieces that they use, giving the film the type of tension and suspense that you need for a Scream film. I think this is one of the best directed films I've seen since the original Scream film. That's a lot given how great Scream was and how the late great Wes Craven filmed that film. And I thought they did a fantastic job here. Now the film is riddled with Easter eggs from all the previous Scream films. I won't say what they are, but one of the best parts that I saw was during the second act when Mindy does her Uncle Randy bit, giving some type of a meta feeling about what the film is. And then she and Kirby have their so-called battle about their knowledge of horror films. I thought it was a nice play on what Kirby did in Scream 4. And here they do it here. And I think one of the different aspects of the film is that the film is really not as meta as what's been a staple of Scream. I mean, we do have that explanation about what this particular part of Scream is, but this is more about the core four, not about being meta. And I thought the writers did a fantastic job with that as well. Now, everyone in the cast did a fantastic job. Beretta, Ortega, Savoy, Brown, and Gunning are excellent as the core four. They carry the film. They have great chemistry together. And unlike the previous film, you want them all to survive. You're really seriously want them to all survive in this latest encounter with Ghostface. But the way they treat the film, no one is safe. There's a possibility that they might not actually survive. And that's wow. This is only the second film that they're in, and they can actually one of these four can actually die. I thought they did a fantastic job with that because you would not think that of all the characters in the film, because that would seem to be the thing with the original Scream, was that the main three, Gail, Sydney, and Dewey, they you didn't think anything was going to happen to him, especially with Sydney. But in here, it's possible that somebody of the core four could die. Now, of course, it's the mystery aspect that drives the film, as Vanderbilt and Biscuit's script does a good job in keep the audience guessing about who the killer or killers are. Now, I'm pretty sure most people probably might guess who they are. I think I had a couple ideas about who the killer was. I was right about one, but I didn't suspect the other two, and I thought they did a fantastic job about who the killers are in this film. So that goes great for Vanderbilt and Busker's script. They did a fantastic job of people guessing. Now, obviously, the kills are violent and bloody. They don't hold back. That's what you expect to see in a Scream film, and it is rated R. But it's not as gory as 4 was. So far, number 4 is still the goriest Scream ever, but definitely great kills in this one. And another thing I have to give Vanderbilt and Busby credit again is this time the motivations for the killers are more grounded in reality, unlike the previous killers in the last film. Even though it's kind of typical what we've seen in other horror movies before, I won't say what it is because this is a non-spoiler review. But I'm pretty sure most people are not going to be surprised what the motivation is, but it's more grounded in reality. I thought the motivations between Richie and Amber was kind of out there, and I don't know. I don't know. It just didn't give credibility to why they wanted to kill everyone, as opposed to like say Billy and Stu in the first one, obviously his mother and Mikey in the second one, and obviously Roman's motivations in the third one, and obviously Jill and Charles in the fourth one. They all had great motivations, but last year motivations is kind of out there. But this one is more grounded in reality. If there's one thing I would have to nitpick about the film is that some of the stuff that happens in the film really couldn't happen in real life. But you have to spend your belief about that, so I can live with that. You know, things that happen. I won't say what there is. I'm pretty sure if you see the film, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, that happened. I don't think that would happen in real life, but you got to suspend your relief. Overall, for me, this was an excellent slasher film. Really did enjoy this film. He has some excellent acting from the leads, some decent and bloody kills, and a nice mystery aspect that should satisfy mostly all Scream fans. So I'm going to give Scream 6 4 out of my 5 bloody coins. Yes, giving it 4 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. I believe this might be the best horror film I've seen so far this year, right on top of Megan. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens for the rest of the year. But truly did enjoy Scream 6. Very nice, taunt, bloody, and terrific slasher film. So there you have it, guys. That is my video and review for Scream 6. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share because it really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Have you seen Scream 6? Leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about the film. Also, please do not put any spoilers in the spoiler section. If you do, please mark it because I don't want anyone spoiling this film. More than likely, I'm going to be having a live stream probably next Saturday and trying to work on that right now. And that we'll talk about spoilers. So definitely we'll try to have a live stream about Scream 6 next Saturday. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Money G, and always remember that horror rules. And I'll see you in my next video. Y'all guys stay safe out there.